Mexico insists 43 students are dead. Mexico's Attorney General says he can prove what happened to 43 students who disappeared in the southern state of Guerrero in September. Mr Murillo Karam said his team had interviewed 99 people, including members of the criminal gang whom he alleges murdered the students. His comments come a day after relatives of the students marched in Mexico City. They demanded government action and concrete proof of what had happened. 4 months after they disappeared, Mr. Murillo Karam insisted that the students were killed by a criminal gang and their bodies burned at a rubbish dump, an explanation which has been rejected by the relatives of the disappeared. He said his team had 39 confessions from police and from members of the criminal gang. Correspondents say it is the first time Mr. Murillo Karam has declared all of the students dead. The remains of only one student have been identified so far after badly burnt bones were sent to a laboratory in Austria for DNA analysis. The laboratory said it was impossible to identify any others because of the bad condition of the remains. Key witness Mr. Murillo said his information was based on 386 declarations from interviewees, 16 police raids and 2 reconstructions. He said a key witness was Felipe Rodriguez Salgado, otherwise known as El Cepillo, a member of the criminal gang who is alleged to have taken part in the kidnapping, murder and disappearance of the students. The evidence allows us to determine that the students were kidnapped, killed, burned and thrown in the river, said Mr. Murillo. He said evidence of gas, diesel and burned rocks and steel from the inside of tires at the scene proved this had taken place. He also said forensic research showed the fire would have been hot enough to burn all 43 bodies, the view which has been disputed by Mexican scientists. Months ago, shortly after the disappearances, Mr. Murillo said based on interviews with members of the criminal gang involved in the murder, that the fire had burned all night and during the following days. He had said the incinerated remains were then bagged up and thrown into a nearby river. Relatives of the disappeared have been skeptical about government explanations over what happened. They maintain the military based in Iguala would have known about the arrival of the students in the town and what happened to them. They have campaigned to gain access to inspect army barracks where they allege students might have been taken. At the press conference, Mr. Murillo said there was not a shred of evidence that the army were involved. Alexander Moore is the only student to have been identified so far, after his remains were taken for DNA tests at a forensic center in Austria. He was in his first year of studies at the Rural Teacher Training College in Ayotzinapa, a college with a tradition of left-wing political activism. Alexander Moore was part of a group of students who traveled to the nearby town Iguala on September 26 and, as part of a protest, commandeered a number of buses. On their way back to their college, the students were intercepted by police allegedly on the orders of the local mayor. The Attorney General has argued the police handed the students over to a criminal drug gang who mistook them for a rival group and executed them.